Hello, welcome to the video on gender equity and energy access in the Global South with the country focus on India. I'm Sunritha. I'm one of the co-principal investigators for this project on gendering the construction of energy needs in the Global South. This is a one-year project which started in September 2020 and finishing in August this year. This is funded by the Anglia Ruskin University Global Challenges Research Fund, which aims to investigate what the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals on access to affordable, reliable, and sustainable modern energy actually means for professionals working on matters of energy access, and in particular, what implications are for gender equality in the Global South. It aims to provide knowledge that will help support equitable policies and practices on energy access. Now, the data was collected within a 4-month period for this project, specifically with regards to India from December last year to March this year. And there were in all 20 interviews, and the participants were professionals working in the energy sector in India, and they came from NGOs working both at research and data collection levels for government policy frameworks and at implementation levels. Some were working in private organizations to support the government frameworks, and some were also working within the government implementation structures to close the gaps for government energy delivery services. Now, the India Policy Core team comprises of Monolitha Chatterjee, who is a partner at Design Combine India, and Dr. Debojit Palid, who is a senior fellow at TERI in India. Debojit will be talking about gendering of energy policies in India, and Monolitha will be talking about the challenges within the Indian policy frameworks and recommendations for the Indian policy structure.
Until 2018, 680 million people in India still relied on biomass as their cooking fuel. By 2019, targeted schemes like Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana had successfully delivered more than 80 million households with LPG connection, so as to bring almost all households in India with clean fuel. Similarly, universal electricity access has been an area of focus for the Government of India, with almost near universal electrification achieved by the end of year 2020. Schemes like Saubhagya for universal electricity access and policies like integrated energy policy and rural electrification policy mostly identify women as beneficiaries and sometimes as participants within the energy value chain. Several state policies and programs also identify women as targeted beneficiaries. Despite these efforts and recent policy support, there are gaps and challenges coupled with poor implementation strategies on the ground that are acting as a major barriers to delivering gender equity in the energy access space in India.
Challenges that emerged from our expert pool interviews were: intersectional vulnerabilities are not understood as contributing factors of inequity. Energy access evaluated on connectivity, often only at household level. Allocation of energy is based on zoning or location rather than usage diversity. Women are imagined solely as consumers of household energies. Avoiding a gender-identified approach misses out capturing nuances of gender inequity in access. Weakening of decentralized systems further marginalize the woman stakeholder. Recommendations for policy frameworks at various governance levels that came out were: systemic recognition of women as participants of the sector and their different energy needs. Systemic recognition of diversity of households like women-led households, trans people's homes, etc. Capacity building and equal gender representation through policy design along with gender training at all levels. Effective gender budgeting with dedicated project funds for specified gendered needs like training for women or on-site safe housing and toilets. Gender-aware financial structure and lending policies to ensure equity in access and ownership within the sector. Collaboration across energy and other development departments to target gendered energy needs efficiently. For various energy delivery stakeholders, the key recommendations are: gender equal participation within supply chains to leverage women's skills like support for last mile connectivity or connect with women consumers. Structures designed to encourage equal women's participation while understanding women's needs like physical and training needs, infrastructure like toilets, etc. messaging for domestic energy delivery systems to be gender inclusive for effective investment in household energies.